Readers Entertainment Radio presents Booklights with your host, author Lisa Kessler. Booklights, where we're shining a light on good books.
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in to Booklights today. We are continuing our spooky season fun, and this week we have a romantic suspense book, and it's a debut author. And any longtime listeners know I love debut books. It was so long ago when mine was. I live vicariously through all of my guests, and Jeri is not only a debut author, but she's a friend of mine, and I'm so excited to share her book with you. So if you haven't read her books yet, since this is her first one, I'm going to read her bio here so you can get to know her. Jeri Bronson was originally from Southern California. She now lives in Texas with her coroner investigator husband, who is the perfect resource for suspense novels. They have 2 grown children and 2 feisty part Siamese cats. Jeri enjoys outdoor hiking and exploring in her new state, and she takes long walks in the forest trails near her home for inspiration. In her spare time, Jeri is a tennis fanatic and is sometimes watching matches when she should be writing. And you can learn more about her at her website. There is a link right there in the show notes. And be sure to check it out. She has a really great blog with neat pictures and lots of great insights, as well as a new newsletter that you can sign up for right there. So don't forget to go visit. It's jeribronson.com. And again, a link is right there for you in the show notes. So without further delay, Jeri, you there?
I am. Thanks for having me, Lisa.
Oh, I'm so excited that you're here. So you have your brand new book is out and it's called Time Starts Now. You want to tell everybody about it and why they should go grab a copy?
Well, it's about a scholar. She's trying to get her PhD, but she's being haunted by these nightmares where a medieval ghost is warning her that she has to help somebody, help a dying knight named Lord Michael Harrington. So we fast forward to present day, and Shannon Brady is off to England trying to solve the mystery of these recurring nightmares and what it all means. And she runs into literally the descendant of Lord Michael Harrington, who is a businessman with his own set of troubles that throw them into a whirlwind of treasure hunting and problem solving and dodging bad guys.
Woo, that sounds amazing. And I'm excited that there's a ghost because Halloween, but being in peril is always fun too. So can you tell us kind of what inspired the idea of bringing a ghost from the past and writing a story in the present, but involving historical? What was the inspiration for this?
You know, it's really funny as writers, some things just kind of trigger the mind. So actually, I got this idea like 20 some odd years ago when I was at a job and I met a person, but for whatever reason, that person, like, I felt like I know this person. Like, I knew this person. It was weird deja vu. That poor person, I just kept questioning them. Like, did we go to school together? There was no connection, but yet I still felt like I knew them or I'd seen them. And I thought to myself, you know, I wonder if somehow life replays itself. I don't know if it's past lives or different connections or how it works, but somehow people's paths cross again, and maybe it's from a long time ago, and then all of a sudden it just started me thinking like, how does that work? And then I'm like, then the ghost came in because, you know, people have dreams, and I just kind of went crazy.
I love it. I love it. So I don't know. This is book 1 of the Lost Legacy trilogy is Time Starts Now. So obviously there's going to be a trilogy of it. Do we solve the big mystery until the end of the 3rd book, or does each book have its own little mysterious past?
Each book will have its own wrap up. So each one, it would be better to read them all 3 together, but each one can stand on its own for the most part. But it will wrap up really nicely in the third book. Like you'll get all the information, and then the last piece of it will come
It's
in
in
the
the final
third
book.
book. Yeah. So it's with three sisters, and each of them will solve a part of the mystery to get to the final answer.
Ah, I love that. I love that. And I don't know if you are like a plotter or a pantser, but did this book give you any big surprises? Were there, turns they took and you're like, wait a second.
Yes, most definitely. I'm definitely a pantser. I'm trying to learn the ways of the plotter just so I don't ever get myself stuck, which kind of happened in this first book. But yes, I initially was just going to be a standalone book, but then a character came on board, Richard, who you'll meet in book two, and then he needed a story. So that's kind of how it was born. But yeah, the mystery itself kind of just kept evolving, and I wanted to add different pieces um, of because I don't want to give too much away, so I'm thinking
Right, right. No spoilers.
no spoilers. But history is made up of so many different parts. Like there were family trees on parchment. There's jewelry that has historical value. There's testaments and wills that travel through time that are still being held at the Bodleian Library from
Oh.
1600s. So, there's so many avenues to explore that I kind of wanted to take it down that road with the Harrington family.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I know when my grandfather started doing a whole bunch of family tree stuff way before we had ancestry.com, he made a trip over to England to do some grave rubbings to be sure who we're related to, kind of thing. And he came back with, I still have it, it's wild, but they name their houses over in England, and so one of the family houses is still there, and the people were super nice. They let him go through, but I still have this parchment deed, that he brought back from all of his travels, and it's written on like this buckskin parchment. I don't know, it's very weird. I'm like, wow, fancy writing. But did you go through when you were researching? Did you find cool things like that? I mean, how did it all unfold for you?
I did a little bit. I started looking at family crests through the UCLA library.
Oh.
Um, as an alumni, you kind of get a little bit of privileges. So um, so I started looking through family crests that way. And that kind of started taking me down the trail of just reading how, I guess, peerage family works, and it took me to the Bodleian Library where it shows like and the College of Arms, in London where like family uh, were given their crests, and once the king or queen gave them their designations in the peer. So it was just kind of cool just learning through all those different aspects of kind of just, it was a big overview of just a lot of how English family works, and of course naming houses. And
Right.
it was interesting. And so that kind of started me down that road.
Wow. Well, now you made my writer brain go off. I'm like, so royalty made your family crest. Did they have little people who designed them? Did they have family crest makers? How did that work?
Yeah, so the king and queen, so I think it started, don't quote me on this because my brain's fuzzy, but it started in the early 1600s with one of the King Georges.
Mm-hmm.
And so he started this College of Arms. It's still there. In fact,
Wow.
yeah, I missed it on my tour when I went. Um,
Darn, you'll have to go back. Dang
I
it.
know, I know. But yeah, so the family would get like their own input, and then the king would like basically sign off on that crest. So like I learned, well, the Scottish king, King James, just because it's recently in my brain, he has two unicorns in his crest.
What? I want a unicorn family crest. What?
I know. Apparently, the Scottish are very like the unicorn is their national animal. So
Oh,
you kind of get to decide, and then, well, since he was his own king, but yeah, then the King of England like agrees because it's like if you supported the king, like you gave him men or you supplied food, they would have those little symbols in each of their crests somehow.
wow. Wow. That's so cool. Very interesting. So so did you have a favorite scene in Time Starts Now that you were like super proud of or you weren't expecting? Do you have a favorite scene with no spoilers?
I do. And it was like, it made me laugh out loud. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did this. But I'll just say they go to a pub one night and Shannon's really not a drinker. And so, but she's going to try the local Guinness
Right?
and maybe she might have had a few too many. And
As you do.
as you do. And let's just say Michael does not know what to do with that when he has to get her home.
Aw, fun. Oh my gosh. Well, I wanted to ask you about like your writing journey. Our listeners are mostly readers and we're always interested, how you came and because I'm friends with you, I know that you had an interesting publishing path to get this book out. So, can you share with us what your writing journey looked like?
It started out back in like 2018, and I wrote a young adult romance novel. And it had a lot of social connotations because it deals with a young adult, yeah, a young adult growing up with an alcoholic parent. And that was kind of where I learned about emotional depth and how to mine for that. Um, but I knew that that's probably not where my heart lies. I love the adventure. I love the quest. I love the mystery, especially when it includes history, because there's so many things that are still unsolved in this world. And
Right.
and so the big what if question. So I immediately started working on Time Starts Now, but I had so much to learn as I went ahead. And then of course life happens when you have kids and moving out of state but I kept plugging along and I kept rewriting this thing because I wanted it to have that that flair for the suspense, that emotional depth, because our characters have to grow while they're still being chased by the bad guy. Um,
Right.
but it was still, I mean, I rewrote this book like maybe, I don't know, like 7 times,
Wow.
just each time trying to make it for me to learn, bad habits I had to break. Apparently, I love ing words.
Isn't it funny all the things we discover when that first book, when you send it to the editor? I remember my first book, the editor had in their developmental edit letter, she said, you might want to search started to and began to. And I was like, what? And I searched, I was like, oh my gosh, my characters don't ever actually do anything. They just start to and begin to. Anyway, it was very embarrassing, very enlightening.
Right, right. Well, it was really lucky because my first book was picked up by a traditioner publisher, but that was a learning experience. And then when I got to Texas and I'm like, okay, things have settled down and I'm going to do this. And I happened upon another writing group, and then, you meet people along the way that kind of help you. And my developmental editor, she really like helped me and pushed me along because when I gave her the book, she was like, Jeri, I thought this was going to be a hot mess, but you are a natural storyteller.
Yay! Yay!
So that encouraged me. And so, working with her on that, learning about not leaving plot holes and just making sure that I don't have runaway eyeballs or other
Right.
things that us writers tend to do. And so, yeah, that's kind of, and then I finally, I'll be honest, I was scared and I've been sitting on this book for a few months, not sure whether I was going to put it out or not. But
But a little pushing from people that you know
yes, Lisa.
It's out. It's out. I pushed, but I'm so proud of you. It came out so great. And when I was getting ready for the podcast, I was looking at all those 5-star reviews and I was so proud of you. You were brave doing this. I know because I'm hybrid. I know every time you put out a self-published book, you become a business and it's hard work.
It's definitely hard work, but I'm really grateful to have done it. I'm really grateful to you. Thank you.
You're
Um,
welcome. So proud of you.
Thank you. But yeah, I think this world, however your story gets out and whatever that journey looks like, doesn't mean that's the only way. So you're not locked into anything, and that doesn't mean I'm not going to try traditional publishing again. I really am liking my historical aspect of my books. So, I'm exploring the idea of a historical fiction for a traditional publisher. And then my suspense novels, those are just so much fun for me. I'm probably going to continue self-publishing those.
Yay.
There's a lot of history mysteries out there ready to be told, and I have plenty that I want to share.
Yes, yes. Well, everybody's always a big fan of American Treasure and all those, those movies where they're chasing after something, but it's usually a historical artifact. So yeah, I think there's plenty of room for romantic suspense that have, a historical angle to it.
For sure, and I'm constantly always finding new things, and I'm like, I hope I can write all these stories that I keep getting ideas from.
Right, right. Now you have to write one about the person who made the coat of arms for everyone. They must have had artists, right?
Yes, they did. The king always had they had different, and some of the families had their own, so it was just a matter of getting them approved
Approved, yeah. Uh-huh.
and well, first you have to be, gifted the title, whether it was a lord or baron or duke. Dukes were, hard to come by because you had to be like the king's brother or something. But lords, earls, and barons were pretty plentiful, I think, back then.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, so fun. Well, what is next for you? What are you working on next?
So I am working on book two. It's about a little more than halfway done, and I'm
Yay.
hoping my goal is to get that one out early next year, hopefully in the spring. That's my goal.
Yay.
And then I am writing a historical fiction as well right now. So I'm learning with that one right now, doing a little bit more research. I'll tell you, it does have something to do with the French crown jewels, which
Ooh.
ironically, something was stolen this weekend from the Louvre.
Was it the French crown jewels? I
Yep.
heard there was a robber. Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, well, how crazy is that? Here I am writing something about it, and then one of them they get stolen.
What? Look at you telling the future in your books.
I know, right?
You were just a little tapped in.
A little bit too much, maybe. I don't know. But I was here, so nobody can, I have a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
alibi.
We knew nothing about it.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then I'll hurry up and get going so the third book can be released hopefully by this same time next year too.
Oh, yay, yay. All right. So the trilogy could be complete toward the end of next year.
That would be great. Yeah.
Okay. And also for anyone who's listening, she does have time starts now in KU. So if you are subscribed to KU, you can read it for free. So, you don't even have to go, what, I don't know, I've never read her books before. You can try it for free.
Yes. Yep.
And it's out in paperback too. So if they get excited, they can get a paperback, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Bonus, bonus. Well, I wanted to ask you about who inspires you. We always like to add to our to be read list. Are there certain authors who write romantic suspense or historical that you can't get enough of that we should read?
Um, right now, Catherine Cowles is writing romantic suspense, and she always has these family, small town interconnected novels. Each it can be a standalone, but they're so very suspenseful, and the couples are amazing and very deep emotional stories each of them have. So I love her books currently. I just finished her Lost and Found series.
Oh.
And historical books that I've kind of been jumping all over the place, but I love to read Eliza Knight. She has her Grammar Queen that's out right now. And Heather Webb has a great book called The Queens of London, which
Ooh.
was exciting about female gangsters. So
Ah, wow.
yeah, those are kind of my go-to historical people. And then I love Regency romances too, because they
Mhm.
have a lot of history that kind of goes in. And Christy Caldwell is always my go-to for Regency romances.
Okay. I love that. I forgot to ask you, but I wanted to because it's Halloween. Were there any suspense scenes in your book that you were like, were they scary?
Yes, I was like, this is it. It's over.
They won't get out of it alive.
They won't get out of it alive. There were some scenes that I was like, oh boy.
And your husband is a coroner investigator, and I went to a talk, I think, that he did about, what happens on a crime scene. How much do you pick his brain when you're writing these suspense books?
A lot, a lot. Poor guy. I've bothered him at work. I've many times because sometimes when I get the idea, I need the answer now. And poor guy, when he worked nights, one time I woke him up and I'm like, how big is a 9 millimeter bullet hole wound? How would you describe that? And he's
And
like,
he's like, excuse me, what?
he's pretty easygoing, so he goes with the flow. I mean, I've asked about crossbow injuries and um what happens if this happens in the body and um yeah, so I've he's not happy. I do have a first draft of a book that I wrote that was a standalone and it has a serial killer in it, and I might get that one done too and revised to put that one up as a standalone too.
Oh,
And
nice.
and I was moving bodies around and he kind of got mad at me. He's like, "Don't move bodies."
Is it harder for him to figure out what happened when they move bodies around?
Well, not a little bit. It's in California it was a little bit easier because the weather was a little more cooperative.
Right. Yeah.
Um, but he's pretty good at figuring out what happened. So
Right.
and in fact, he's a very like his mind works very differently. So if I come up with something, sometimes he puts a different twist on it.
Oh, nice.
So he does help me quite a bit.
So sometimes he helps you and he has no idea that he's helping you.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Sometimes with some of his stories, and then I take it a bit further. I mean, I've learned a lot about poisons and
Yeah, if you have historicals, I like to watch historical documentaries, and there is so much poisoning going on. I'm like, what? And my husband teases me because I will get spoilers from Wikipedia because it's historical, it's already happened, and I always think, no way, and I look it up. Oh, way, okay. There's a
yeah,
lot of poison back then.
yeah. There was all and even in today's world, like sometimes he comes home and it's like, wow, like I would have never thought about that in a million years, like
Right. People find interesting ways to take care of people.
right, right. And that's the great thing. There's always something out there new to be learned, unfortunately.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. Fortunately, if you're writing fiction, unfortunately, if it's happening to you. Um, because it's spooky season, what is your favorite spooky movie that you like to watch this time of year?
Practical Magic.
Ah, great one. Are you excited for the sequel?
Yes, I am
Can't
so
wait.
excited. I'm so excited. I love that movie. That's my most favorite spooky movie.
Yes.
I don't even hardly consider it spooky. It's just fun for me.
Yes, it does have the creepy scene where he comes back. That's pretty creepy, but the rest of it is just delightful magic.
Yes. Yep. Practical Magic is my absolute favorite.
Ah, great one. Great one. And then our other spooky season question, what's your favorite Halloween costume?
Um, Probably a fairy because I love fairies and I collect fairies.
Ah,
But I do have a favorite Halloween character, which is the Headless Horseman. I love
yeah.
that guy because there's a little bit of history to him.
Yes. Oh my gosh. You probably already do this, but just in case you don't, Sleepy Hollow has their own Instagram feed. And oh my gosh, it's actually Sleepy Hollow, New York's feed. But oh my gosh, it's beautiful there, but they have pictures of their bridges and their cemeteries. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna need to go to Sleepy Hollow.
I know, right? I did find that too. And so, yeah, I want to go there very definitely. It's on my list.
Yes, yes. And I feel like fall Halloween time is the perfect time to go to Sleepy Hollow just because all the leaves are changing.
I know it's so beautiful on the East Coast. That's been on my bucket list to do. I'm only East Coast I've ever been was to Rhode Island and I,
Ah,
and I was working, so I didn't really get to work. I mean, see anything.
right, right. Well, I've been riding a Salem wolf pack, and so that gave me an excuse to go up to Salem, which was beautiful. And then I found out Sleepy Hollow is, I think, only a 90-minute drive. So next time that I go up to Salem, Massachusetts, I'm gonna drive down and visit Sleepy Hollow. So I can't wait.
I know Salem's on my list too. I want to see that. I think it's
Yes.
amazing.
Oh, it's beautiful, beautiful, and so much history. I went to the cemetery there, and it's right in the middle of town, but they have a stone there for someone who came on the Mayflower. I'm like, what?
That's crazy.
Yeah, lots of history there in Salem. Well, before I let you go, can you tell readers when they get excited about reading your book, where can they find you?
I am on Facebook. I do have a Facebook author page, Jeri Bronson Author, and I do a lot on Instagram at Jeri Bronson there
Okay.
on Instagram. So those are the two places I primarily hang out.
Okay, perfect. And do you have any events coming up that people can meet you? Are you going anywhere or doing a book signing or anything?
Um, no, nothing yet this year, but I'm hoping if something pops up, I will. It'll probably be out here in the Houston area if anyone's out here. Um, but yeah, I'm just, kind of living in the debut author glow a little bit, but scrambling, trying to do some more marketing. So, but yeah, just check out my website. If anything pops up, I will put it on there or my author page or my Instagram. I'll keep it all updated.
Yes, and remember to sign up for her newsletter because newsletters are really, you never know if you're going to get notifications from social media. So be sure to sign up for her newsletter so that you don't miss out on when book 2 is coming.
Yep, and I promise I will not spam because I'm not great at I try to get it out once a month, but sometimes
Erratic email from Jeri.
yeah, so it'll probably be a random email from me, mostly just trying to keep you up to date.
Yay. Okay. Well, thanks so much for being here today. It was great chatting with you.
Thanks for having me. I loved it.
Yay. And everyone go grab your copy of Time Starts Now. And remember, it is in KU. So if you're a subscriber, you can read it for free. And thanks for being here, Jeri.
Thanks. See you soon.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us on Booklights. Be sure to connect with us at www.readersentertainment.com for articles, blogs, videos, and podcasts that matter to readers.